Hi, I'm Tom. This is Mina, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today on Kitty Help Desk, I want to talk to you a little bit about puzzles. The main idea being that cats really need, especially these two, need puzzles in their lives. If you think about the concept of puzzles, they seem a little bit like time wasters. I mean, even for humans, like people enjoy doing all kinds of puzzles, be they jigsaw puzzles or video game puzzles. So cats want to explore. Their niche in nature is digging and finding and exploring and being curious in order to find prey. And without that in their lives, they tend to get a little bored. So I've got a few puzzle toys here to kind of explore the whole idea. Mina is not as food motivated as Lucy, so she is less likely to explore these toys even when she sees that there are treats available. If I put a treat out here on the table, she'll go for it right away. But if I put it down in these pegs, she's more interested in me possibly giving her another one without her having to work for it. Now, Mina is almost 14 years old. Oh, she may actually work for this one. Mina's 14 years old, almost 14 years old. So she had a time in her life when she was much more motivated by toys like these. Lucy, who I'll get up here in a minute, who's trying to get up here now, Lucy is much more food motivated than Mina is these days. And oh good, she's going to try to get it. And so each of these toys kind of does the same thing. It allows you to put other toys or food items or whatever in a spot where they can see it and smell it, but that they have to actually take action to earn the food treat. Mina's trying right now. She has not really been as good at clicker training as Lucy, but Lucy started at a very young age. So clicker training is another great sort of puzzle that will help them. Here, honey, I'm going to let you have that one because you got it to the edge and then you accidentally pushed it back in. You're a good girl. So let me just sort of explain what these three puzzles are all about. All of these are relatively inexpensive toys. This one's made by Catit, and it basically has several levels where you can put a treat in the top and they have to move it around. Sometimes they can get it out the side here, but more often than not, they knock it and it goes to the next level and goes to the next level. It has a little rotating blade here that can make the holes larger or smaller, and that helps make it a little more difficult sometimes. I tried a Kong with Mina many years ago, and she solved it so quickly that it was sort of pointless. Like, I'd put the treats in one end, she would use her nail to pick it up from the other end, shake the treats out of it, eat them all, and then look at me like, okay, what else you got? So sometimes they outwit you. These three puzzles have all been relatively difficult for both of them to sort of master, which is good because if it doesn't remain a challenge, it's really not much of a puzzle, is it? It's kind of like putting on a video game on the easy level for us. It might be fun at first, but after a little while, you want a little bit of a challenge. So that's the way these work. So this is the turnaround. You load treats in here. You load treats in here, and then they're supposed to knock them out. Neither of these two has ever been able to knock the treats out of these. They see them in there, they hear them rattling around, they can smell them, they move these like that, but they never get them down here onto the pegs. I always end up putting them on the pegs for them. This one, Lucy has been quite good at, and I'll show you in a minute. She's obviously raring to go. And then this one has been a real hit just to leave out all the time. There are toys that are inside here, and then access ports where you can reach in and move the toys around. You can hear. And some of them I added later, like this Homer Simpson donut. that they can actually pull out. The ones that come with this though, a lot of them, these balls and stuff, they're too big to come out, so they just end up knocking them around in there, kind of like one of those ball tracks. But these other treat toys that I added in here, kind of catnip toys, they can actually get out, and Lucy really likes playing with this. With all of these, it's really a good idea to put them away for a time and then bring them back out. If you leave them out all the time, they kind of get bored with the whole thing. The other thing that I want to mention about toys that involve food is that most of those toys require the use of kibble or hard, dry treats. And we don't really recommend that your cat get fed those as like a daily meal. But some of these treats, like these blue wilderness cat treats, are not too terrible, and they're okay in moderation, a little at a time. The thing that I really like is this Ziwi Peak freeze-dried cat food. This is almost 100% meat. It's like jerky, but it's relatively expensive. These make great treats too because they love them. Right? You like that, right? You endorse it? Do you give it your endorsement? Okay. Let's see. Let's try it out. Here you go. You want one of these? So anyway, just be careful what you use in these, and don't use this as a way to feed them all the time. This is supplemental, just for mental stimulation more than anything. You can make toys that serve the same purpose for almost nothing. I mean, you can take a paper towel roll and cut holes in it and make it where if they roll it around, the treats will come out. It's really the same thing as like a Kong toy, but it costs nothing, right? They don't care. That's right, you don't care. As long as you can get the treats, you see your treat? One thing that's important to note is that dropping the treat onto the plastic or something, or shaking it when it's inside the toy, is really important to help them find the treats and know that it's there. They can smell them, but they can't really see very well up close. Cats have really good medium range, relatively good long range vision, but up close they really don't see well at all. It's sort of a sacrifice made to their hunting skills. They really need to see prey at a greater distance, but up close they can usually find them by scent. And the same thing goes for these treats. She can't really see them very well in there. It's good that it's a high contrast. In fact, the bottom of this being green, it's harder even for me to see the treats down in the bottom layer. So if it makes it to the bottom layer and doesn't fall out, she'll never find them. She'll smell them and know that they're in there, but not really be able to see them. So can you get it out? It's really important that you help them sort of hear them by dropping them on the plastic or moving them around or rattling them. It really helps. Right, Lucy? So which of these do you like better, Lucy? You like them all, as long as they pay off. It's kind of like a slot machine. Cats are a lot like grandmas at the casino, looking for a big payoff, sitting there waiting and waiting. So these are a couple of my favorite cat toys that involve food payoffs. If you have some that you particularly like, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. And really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. And we'll see you around. Thanks. Bye.